Yo, welcome back. We on another podcast. Let's go. Listen, man, let's talk about it a little bit. Man, what y'all been up to? Y'all been chilling? I've been chilling, getting it. I wrote some incredible notes for this podcast, man. This podcast is really talking about executing the plan, man. We want to execute. We're going to talk about the building blocks of executing. We're going to go into a heavy dose of just information to help you become a more effective leader. If you ain't got your pen and paper out, you better get it out because you're going to need it on this episode, man. Are you trying to become a more effective leader? Are you wasting time? What is that you are focused on? Are you executing your plan on a daily and a weekly basis? There's some different building blocks we're going to go over. I want you guys to be locked into it. Once you guys locked into it, I want you guys to know that, man, it's going to be good, man. It's going to be good. Outside of that, before I get too, on the serious side and start doing the training information, man, I want you guys to really lock in on, like, what are your goals? What are those ideals that you're trying to execute that you haven't executed yet? It's some questions that I think we all need to ask ourselves when it comes to branding, when it comes to lining up your dreams, becoming the best version of yourself. There's some things you need to talk about. So let's get into it, man. We ain't gonna hold you long. Listen, man, effective leader. We talking about building blocks. We talking about understanding that the strategies you need to be a more effective leader and to start executing on a daily basis, man. Execution is the key to getting massive results, man. Execution is the key to getting massive results. You can start something, but if you don't execute it, you just started it. You need to be locked in and making it happen, man. It shouldn't be, you don't got time for no excuses, man. You don't got time to be, not locked into your dreams, not locked into your goals, man. It must be showtime every time, all the time. Being consistent, doing the things you need to do, understanding that I must execute my plan when I write it down. All right. The first thing is this, and we're gonna go in. The first thing is know your people that you want to connect to, and understand the business that they want from you. All right. It is very important that you know the people that you are trying to connect to when it comes to your business, man. Know the demographics, know what they're looking for, know the business attributes, ups and downs. Know exactly what they're looking for. You wanna be able to execute and give them the plans that they need to get the results that they're looking for, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you don't know the people, you can't execute them. You can't even persuade them. You don't know how to talk to them. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know your audience. You gotta talk to your audience, all right? Because one thing I'm gonna tell you is, leaders know and understand their business. They know it. They understand it. They understand their audience. They understand how they're going to connect with them. They understand exactly what they're looking for. You know what I'm saying? Know the people you are connected to. Know the people you are speaking to. Know their lingo. Know their language. Know the message that you're trying to bring them. Understand that you are giving the information that's bringing them to the next level, man. When you know this, I'm going to tell you, man, execution becomes easy, man. It becomes so easy. You look back and say, "Oh yeah, I could have been did that." You have to know your mission, know the people, know what they're looking for, know why they're looking for it, and just stay locked into where you're trying to go. Okay. Second thing is, all right, is set clear goals and understand your priorities. All right. So I'm big on the 3-5 theory. So let's talk about it. 3-5. So you should be trying to connect with 3 to 5 people a day on your particular topic. Whether that's getting them to subscribe to an email list or whether that's getting them to book one of your one-on-one coaching. All right. You got to be so locked in to understand your goals, setting your goals, know what you're trying to do, know exactly how you're trying to do it, and pounding the pavement, man. I mean, you got to pound it. I mean, you got to pound it every single day, because the objective is to execute. So now you know the people, you know who you speaking to, you know the business that they looking for, you understand the promise that you're about to set up for them. Now you start to get into the groove of the execution part. Execution ain't gonna be easy, but when you have a clear and precise message, you can be able to give them the results that they're looking for. So I'm telling you guys right now, like, know the execution, know the plan, know the mission, know what's forward, know what's backwards, understand how you're gonna do it, why you're gonna do it, because you done it. It's just a lot of juicy information that I'm trying to share with you guys. If you ain't got your pen and paper out, you need to have it out and writing these notes. These are some very crucial notes that is going to help you get your entrepreneur brand, your entrepreneur message to the next level, okay? Now, the next thing is this, all right, is understand and be consistent to know your competitors, okay? There's gonna be some competitors. There's gonna be some of the people doing some of the same stuff you're doing, and that's okay. That is okay if they're doing what you're doing, because you know who you're speaking to. You know your audience. You know your message, all right? And then compare your competitors to what you're selling and what they're selling, all right? This is how you start to look at the price points of, are you charging too much or are you charging too less, all right? You have to know the difference between, if you're a photographer, you feel like it's $450 an hour, that's your price. You might have another photographer that charges $250 an hour, that's his price. To you, that might be too low. To him, you might be too high. I think that's what you guys gotta really know and understand. Like, it's taking you to the next level when it comes to lining everything up, lining your vision up, and helping you become the best version of yourself. So, as this time is going to the next level, when you are executing, you have to understand that the execution is going to help you get to the next level, all right? Now, I want to ask you guys a couple questions, because I'm going to tell you right now, all your goals on executing, is it exact? Is it specific? Do you know exactly what you're trying to do, how you're doing it, and what is that thing that's helping you get to where you're trying to go? I need you guys to know that thing that's going to help you get to where you're trying to go, you have to see that your goals is right, your message is tight. I mean, that you're speaking to them exactly the way that they want to be spoken to. Your message is you're speaking directly to them. It ain't no excuses. It's like, this is my message. This is what I'm saying. This is how I'm executing, and I'm staying consistent at that thing. When you know this, I promise you, everything will it'll be so easy. You'll be like, oh, okay. Now, where there's one, there's 1,000. Where there's 1,000, there's 100,000. So I mean, when you're speaking to that one particular person, it's usually thousands of them. So you gotta know that how you speaking to them, why you speaking to them, and understanding that your execution is your message, your mission, and having a clear, precise goal on how you're going to attack these individuals. I'm gonna tell you, every time I know exactly what I want to do, how I'm gonna do it, how many people I want to close, it happens. But you gotta have that written down to get you to the next level. Lock in, stay focused, and know where you're going, all right? The next thing is understand your follow through. Like, how you following up with your future clients or with your clients? What's your follow up look like? What's your What's your mindset look like? What's your brand look like? Like, the message is tight. The mission is right. The follow through is there. You're allowing your brand and your mission to speak to them. All right. Your goals are set. I mean, you're locked into executing for that sale, trying to close the sale, trying to close the deal, trying to get connected to hundreds of thousands of people to get you millions of dollars. That's the goal. That's the precise plan. And when you lock into that, you will start to write everything down and see the vision to where you're trying to be. All right. Now, the next thing is, you have to position yourself into a brand that not only helps people, all right, with execution, but it also rewards them for being a part of what you got going on. I tell you all the time, I tell people this all the time. Reward the people who are connected to you with your brand or whatever you got going on. You have to reward them, all right? You have to let them know, like, oh, so if you share this, I'll give you this. Or if you do this, I'll give you that. Like, you have to reward these individuals. Once you reward them, man, things become super easy. When I say super easy, I'm talking about super easy. So, let's talk about this. And I think you guys got to understand, like, now you know that you have to know your vision. You have to know it. You have to know it. You have to see it. You have to visualize it. You have to have a clear message, all right? Then the next step is, all right, you got to understand to know, make yourself relatable to them, all right? What I mean by that is you have to be very relatable to your audience before you can execute the play. We call it run the play. You're running the play to execute, all right? So you're setting the blocks of execution, all right? These are different plays. Your message is great. Your intent is great. Your goals are set. Your priorities are set. Now you are in a winning position to execute on anything that you're trying to do. You gotta execute on this thing, man. It's for sure you executing on the plan. Now, with that being said, I think you guys need to also know that there's different, what's the word I'm looking for? Because I really want to kind of dive deep. Okay, so then there's different expectations of people that want to be coached by you when you are executing. Now, what I mean by that is try to set up different levels. Of coaching programs for different types of people. Some people can't pay the $5. Some people probably can pay the $299. So you got to understand your audience, your goals, and your priorities, or you just might want to be a high-end brand. Like if they can't afford the $3,000, then they just can't afford the $3,000. But you got to know what your time is worth. What your time and energy is worth to help you get the money that you need to get so that you can position your brand into that level that you want to position your brand to. So I'm a big believer in just executing and knowing the execution and knowing the plan and seeing the plan and being direct with the plan. I mean, it's so much to talk about, but when you know yourself and yourself connect to your audience and the information that they want, the business, the money they don't mind spending, that's when it gets easy. See, those major brands like Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Target, Walmart, those major brands, why do we keep going there? Because we know, like, and trust them, and we keep showing up there. And now you keep showing up, you keep spending money, all right? We call it the returning theory, that customers will keep returning once they know, like, and trust you, and they'll buy everything you got. It's the return theory, man. They will keep coming back to back to back to back to back. But you have to have this plan, the priorities. You have to have everything lined up, the vision, the goals. This stuff has to be lined up as little building blocks to execute them so that they can open up their wallet and spend money with you, man. You got to have blocks of execution. You know what I'm saying? Blocks of execution. Write that down. Tell yourself, today I am developing blocks of execution. Then you can move and shake how you want. So I'm really big on understanding like my audience, understanding how to close them, understanding the execution, the different blocks of execution, understanding like why I really want to close them, how to close them, what's important about me closing them. I mean, I'm really big on that, you know, and once you get big on that, you can start setting up your blocks of execution. One thing I want to expound on, which is being authentic, all right? Being authentic. When you are being authentic, it is easier for you to get your message across, all right? You don't have to pretend to be somebody else. You don't have to try to emulate another brand. You could just consistently be yourself, and then this can help you get to that place where you're trying to go. So there's a lot of little minor roadblocks that you might have to face, but if you be authentic, people will connect to your authentic self. I never try to be nobody else. I try to tell everybody, if I curse, I curse. If I don't, I don't. But be yourself. You know, your brand might not be for religious church people. Then again, your brand might be holy and you don't do no cursing. Whatever it is you do, people will connect to you on the level that you let them connect to you. That's why I tell people, be authentic. Don't try to be nobody else. If you just be yourself and be locked in, I promise you, everything you ever known will help you get everything that you ever want to the next level. So it's important that you guys understand, you know, exactly what it is that you're trying to do. So, man, it's just so many ideals, so many things that's flowing in my brain right now to understand, because once you be authentic, what kicks in is that self-awareness, okay? The self-awareness. You know your strengths, all right? And then you know your weaknesses. So you'll focus on your strengths to get more customers versus trying to focus on your weaknesses. Because to me, too many people spend time on their weaknesses, trying to make their weaknesses strong, when you can just focus on your strength to get more customers. Your weakness is going to be your weakness, all right? Can you make your weakness better? You can. Is it worth it? You tell me. I personally think that we all should be focusing on our strong points. You know, if you know how to close people, then close them. And then you might not be good over the phone, then you might have to get somebody to close them over the phone and then give them a percentage of that money that they help you close. So like, you have to learn how to delegate. You can't try to do this whole big brand, try to do all these blocks of execution by yourself. You have to personally learn how to delegate, how to allow other people to come in, be a part of it, and say, you know what? I'll pay you because you helping me build my brand, or because you're good on the phone, so I'll pay you to help me close customers. And that's the part that I think a lot of people miss when it comes to building the blocks of execution. They miss it. They miss it. I'm like, man, how do you miss all of how you missing the steps, was one of the most important steps, which is delegating, which is you delegating. You've been authentic, you attracting customers, but some things you just not as good at. So why not delegate that particular task to somebody else that can help you execute that thing that you're trying to execute? The next thing is this. Self-mastery, man. Master who you are. Master yourself. Master your brand. Master your audience. Master the thing that you need to master, right? It is very important, and you be honest, all right, that you will master your personal goals. You will master your personal brand. You will master these blocks of execution. I keep telling you guys, blocks of execution. every block is another step to executing to closing your customers, then it's easier for you to get that message across. So as time passing, you got to really write this stuff down. Like, man, I need to be authentic. I need to know who I am. I need to know my message. I need to know how I'm speaking to them. I need to reward them. I need to be following through with either text messages, emails, either 15-minute discovery calls. I need to be following through with different types of methods that's helping me close each and every customer. When that happens, I promise you, you'll be like, well, let me think about this for a quick second. And I promise you, I started to master the different levels of execution and understand that you don't have to be good at everything. Somebody might be great at something, you can hire them. So stop trying to be good at everything and get to the thing you know you're good at. All right? So many levels of execution, man. So many things we need to, expound upon, talk about, be about. You just gotta, have that self mastery, because self mastery and being authentic, having that authority figure, because when you be authentic, you create the authority figure for your brand, the authority figure for the things that you're trying to do. So just be authentic, take your time. You're not in a major rush. I think too many people focus on, building the blocks of execution, but what happens is they tend to miss a block. That delegation block, you don't want to do that. That authentic block, you don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you trying to be somebody else, you're not. We just have to understand that each block that we're building is a block to help us execute the final sale, which is the customers buying from us, the customers getting to know us, like us, trust us, then they will buy from us. So there's gonna be multiple different blocks that we are putting in place, and each block is like giving us like superpower. So imagine like the block of delegation is like a superpower, giving you more energy. The block of knowing your business gives you superpower, knowing yourself, being authentic, getting that authority figure. Like, you are in the position to give yourself the best chance to win. And I think that most people don't get themselves the best chance to win because they tend to forget about the different execution blocks. Execution is one of the hardest things for people to do. It's easy to write the plan down. It's easy to say, oh, I'm going to do all this. But the execution, that's when that work come in. That's when recording these podcasts. That's when recording reels, recording conversations. That's when all this work comes in. And once this work come in, then everything else will start to fall in place. And it gets easier along the way. But the initial grind, the initial setup, the initial understanding each building block is tough. It's tough. I mean, each building block of execution is tough, and it all has its own identity, because people say, well, like Kanye, for instance. Kanye, he speaks his mind, but he say what some of you want to say, but you're scared to get canceled. That is building blocks. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, why not you be your authentic self? Because you are afraid that people might not like who you are. So people start to emulate other people. First thing I say is, I don't want to emulate nobody but God, Jesus Christ. I don't want to emulate nobody. You know what I'm saying? I want to just be myself, wake up, do me, stay locked into my goals, and not allow other people to speak anything into my life, any negative energy, any negative situation. Like, I'm locked into these different building blocks. Each building block is for me to close the customer. It's for the customer to get more related to me. It's for the people to know my brand. Why now is your time. It's for them to know that this brand is about life, brand, legacy. How would you leave it? This is what it's about. But each building block of execution is going to get you there. All right. So one thing you got to know is you got to clearly explain to the people, all right, what it is that you want them, what action you want them to take. Have a clear explaining on the action you want them to take. Have a clear goal on how you're going to help them. It got to be clear. I'm talking about absolutely clear. And when that happens, they will connect with you and they will take action. You ever heard the theory is and this is crazy. I don't even know if this is a good theory, but I'm about to say it. So you at a party, I don't know if that happened to you. You at a party or you at a club or whatever. You hear gunshots. Do you run towards the gunshots or do you run away from the gunshots? Or do you run where the crowd is running to? This is the reason why I like to bring this theory up, because most people are going to just run wherever everybody else running. It's your instinct. It's your nature. So when you are setting up your building blocks, you have to understand that there are some things that you're going to have to explain to people so that they can run in the direction you tell them to run. All right, they must not run in this direction. I need you to run in this direction, and then we're gonna make this happen. So once that happens, all right, tell them exactly how they're gonna get there. So if you're selling a product, you gotta say, hey man, if you buy this product, this is what's going to happen. I don't care what kind of product you selling, but all of this stuff comes with the psychology of your mind, where you start to direct people into the plans and the mission that you want to direct people to. The problem is people be so scared because they don't know the direction. You have to take them in that direction. You have to show them, hey, go this way. This is the fastest way for you to execute. This is the fastest way for you to get the results. That's why, again, it's good to have a mentor. It's good to be a GPS. You're basically going to be their live GPS, telling them where to go, how to get there, and what direction you want them to go. That's why these building blocks of execution, this is how you're going to execute. Being authentic, having that self-mastery, understanding what you're trying to do. I mean, these are steps, principles, rules, things that you're going to do that's going to penetrate your mind, that's going to help you get to the next level. So I tell people this all the time, is position that at what you do, okay? Then once that happens, you have to train yourself daily on mastering these building blocks. You have to stay consistent on mastering these building blocks. Each one of these building blocks is going to help you authentically be yourself and tell your message to your customer. It's a hard thing to do if you don't understand what to do, if that makes sense. You have to understand what to do, why to do it, how to do it, and then that's going to help you get to that next level. So I personally really want you guys to lock in on those steps: the follow through, the knowing yourself, the self-mastery, being authentic, having humility. Let's talk about that real quick. Having humility, all right? Now, the ability to listen and to acknowledge that if your product needs to be, or your service or whatever needs to be tweaked, all right? But having humility and accepting your mistakes. The problem is so many people stop always wanting to be right. Listen to your customers. Listen to the feedback of others. Your price might be too high. Your price might be too low. I mean, listen to the feedback, but have humility and stop trying to have all the answers. This is important. Now, even though you position yourself as the authority figure, it's still good to be a good listener, because by you being a good listener, it's helping you to understand your customer needs, wants, where they want to go, how they want to get there, is really, it's a really detailed formula when you are executing the different execution blocks. All right. Now, you want people to value your business. You want people to value your ideals. You want people to value your podcast. You want people to value your service. You want people to value the things that you're releasing. For instance, why do we always, some people love Target. They say they love Target. The baskets don't squeak. They clean. It's clean in there. It's nice. Some people love Walmart. They say it's cheap. Baskets might squeak. Some Walmarts are nice. Some of them tore up. But people have their favorite stores that they go to. And you need to become the favorite person that people go to, whether it's your products or services, whether you're a photographer, whether you're a videographer, whether you a author, whatever it is. You want people to continue to come back. The recurring customers, the people that's saying, you know what, I'm gonna go back and buy this information from this person because they good at what they do. I'm gonna go back and treat this a certain way because I think I need to do this. Like, you need to understand the position that you are in. All right. The position creates your purpose. Your purpose help you give them the promise, and those promises help people get to the price point. All right. People will buy at whatever amount of you think they will buy at if they get to know, like, and trust you, and you build those building blocks of execution. It's simple. Excuse me. It's simple. So you guys gotta lock in and say, man, you know, how am I building these blocks every day? Because this message that I'm telling people, I want them to know my message. I want them to know the value that I'm giving. I want them to understand the purpose. I want them to know the reasons behind my products. I want them to know the reasons behind my information. I want them to know the reason behind the things I'm doing. I want them to constantly come back to know, like, and trust me. I want to continue to just give the information that they deserve and the information they will share with people, man. The psychology triggers you got to think about. What are those psychology triggers that's helping you tell your story, your brand, the execution? You got to, I tell people 3 things: educate, entertain, and execute. If you can educate your audience on whatever you're trying to do, whether it's your product, your service, or whatever, excuse me, you can do some kind of entertainment, then the execution becomes easy. Educate them, entertain them, and then execute on the sale. It's not really that hard. I think we make it hard, but we don't have to make it hard. We can make it where it's simple. We can make it where it's what's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to think. We can make it where it's relatable. Okay? People can relate to your products. People can relate to your message. People can understand it. They can know why they purchasing it. Some people might purchase your product because of the message behind it. All right? That's why as you building these blocks of execution, it speaks to the people. It tells them why they should buy. It tells them how to buy. You're giving them a direct message. You're showing your authentic. You being authentic. You're showing them your authority. You're positioning yourself to the next level. You have to do that. And you showing humility. You showing that you're listening to your customers. You're listening to their feedback. I don't know all the answers. I don't want to know all the answers. But if you guys think I can fix something, I can make it better, I need to hear you. And if I hear you, then I can make this product, I can make this service, I can make this a little bit better. If that's making sense. So when you are sitting here thinking about it, like, man, okay, he's saying blocks of execute. He's saying go execute. He's saying this is how he executes. These are the things I need to think about when it comes to my brand, when it comes to my service, when it comes to my ideals. I haven't even released my ideals yet. I've been having it in my brain. I haven't released it, but now I'm about to release it. Now I'm about to let the world know where I'm at, where I'm going. You know, these are the things that people need to see when you are on this journey, because at the end of the day, you are building blocks of execution. You're building them. Every single day you wake up, every grind, you are building blocks of execution. And when you understand that, everything is easier, everything runs smoother. You don't have to worry about is people loving it. They're gonna share it. They're gonna give you testimonials. They're gonna tell you how great it is. You don't have to worry about none of that. And I'm telling you, the blocks of execution is what's going to help you get there, all right? Now, I wrote a couple of notes too. I said, filling out your leadership pipeline and providing a framework for people to identify the importance of your brand. So, when you are filling out the leadership framework, a lot of people want to know who's behind the brand, who's behind this mission, who's behind this thing that you guys are talking about, and what do they stand for. Most people, once you build a well-known brand, people want to know, what do they stand for? What made them start this company? What made them you guys, when I tell you this is how you can execute because you're going to be yourself. You're going to be authentic. You're going to give the world what they're looking for. You're going to give them the thing that they relate to. You know, people are going to be able to go see your story and say, man, I'm going to connect with him or her. I'm going to be a part of what they're doing. I like what they're doing. I want to stand for them. You know, people want to be a part of something. And if you can allow yourself and your brand and the things you got going on to connect with these people, everything else are going to be lifted up. Everything else around you are going to be excited. So if you can do that, I promise you, you'll look back and say, man, you know what? This was a nice journey, but man, I executed on that. I did that. And nobody can stop you from doing what you need to do, man. So it's so much I would like to say. But like I said, these podcasts are only an hour. They're only an hour long, and you know, so many more steps to talk about. All right. Now, where does your business want to go? Think about this. Be realistic about your plan. All right. How are you going to attract people on a daily basis? All right. What are you doing to get them to the next level? All right. What is it that you're doing? Why are you doing that? You know. You need to really see, you know, people need to really know why you doing what you're doing and how you're going to do what you do. Once you understand that, then you'll be able to assess the position. You'll be able to see where you're going. You'll be able to see that the position you are in versus your competition. All right. I tell people, once you line your vision up and line your brand up the correct way, that other stuff ain't even gonna matter. This is big facts. Once you line your stuff up the right way, that other stuff ain't gonna matter. And then you'll be able to sit back, kick back, and see exactly what you're trying to do. And you'll be able to position yourself to the next level. Because execution, this should be on your mind every day. How can I execute customers? How can I execute my brand? How can I execute to get more relatable audience to me? How can I relate? How can I get them to be more relatable to me? So when that happens, that you'll start to see the opportunities that's before you. You'll start to see all of these different blocks that'd be like you will start to see. And then the blocks get easier as you master each block. The problem is people not mastering the blocks. They just want to do 2 or 3 blocks when you need to do 7 blocks. And you need to be consistent with the 7 blocks. Once you're consistent with it, then everything else will gonna come in place. It's simple. I just don't understand why people don't understand how simple it is. And it can be super simple, especially when you understand why. So when you line it up, you'll know. So when you take your success to the next level, there's usually certain pathways to success, all right? And productivity, taking advantage of what's in the marketplace, having a clear close to close customers. You want to have productivity, like the action you putting in every single day. All right, like your blood flow every day. You need to be flowing in the marketplace with products, information, videos. You need to let people know, hey, I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. Here we go. Here go another video. Whoa, here go another reel. Whoa, here go another podcast. Whoa, here go another piece of content. Whoa, man, he ain't stopping. Every day you wake up, it's a new day for you to take control of the marketplace. Most people not gonna work that hard, I promise you. Most people gonna get a little success, and that little success, they're gonna be like, oh, well, I got my success, I'm good. Then some people gonna get some success and be like, you know what, I wanna ramp it up. But most people is not gonna work that hard to get the results. So to me, is who can outwork who? I drop podcasts every week, 2 a week, sometimes 3, depends on if I'm interviewing people. But I'm staying consistent every single week. Mondays, Fridays, Mondays, Fridays, Mondays, Fridays, Mondays, Fridays. We stand consistent, man. And then you get to have conversations with me during the weekday. And then you get to check out the shorts and the reels and the Instagram, the TikToks. But will you outwork me? Will your competitors outwork you? That's the real question you gotta ask yourself. Because I'm gonna tell you something, these building blocks, it can be either you're gonna execute or you're gonna get executed on. Either you're gonna execute or you're gonna get executed on. One thing I learned in this process of me building this multi-million-dollar brand and building out products and building out, my books, and is I had to go look at my execution. I had to go see was my execution coming together. I had to go see was my reels was I drawing people in with my reels? Was the photos I posting, was that something that people said, oh yeah, I need to be a part of that? I had to go lock in. I had to go lock in to really look at my brand, my mission, my message, my mission, and was I really speaking to the people's heart, or was I just out here doing something? And that's why my message got better. That's why the Life Brand Legacy, the Why Now Is Your Time brand was put together. The clothing line, the books, the podcast. That's why all this stuff was put together, because we realized that if we're going to do it, we're going to do it big. We're going to go all out. And if we go all out, ain't no turning back. Ain't no turning back, man. And I'm telling you, man, it's a hardcore struggle. It's a hardcore grind, man. When I started thinking like, man, I want to drop this podcast about building building blocks of execution, because a lot of people, they got a vision, but they're not executing. A lot of people got a vision, but they don't know how to put the execution blocks in place. A lot of people got a vision, but they don't understand exactly what it is they need to do. Your vision, your building block, your execution. You know, you want people to buy your products and say, man, I bought that product. It was an amazing product. Let me send a testimonial back. Matter of fact, the people who send the product send me a note too. Like, these are things you guys want to wrap your mind around every single day. Execution, positioning, profit. It's a lot of a lot of things I want you guys to lock into. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, people will buy your whatever you selling at that price point, they will buy it. You just gotta bring them to you. You gotta bring them to you. You got to let them see exactly what you're doing. You gotta let them see how you're doing it. And then you have to be consistent every single day and make them building blocks come to pass, man. Execution is the key, man. Surrounding yourself, delegating certain jobs that you don't have to try to be good at everything, and know that the building blocks are there, man. Listen, man, I took 45 minutes of your time. I was gonna take an hour, but you know what? I think I gave you guys enough juice. Remember, man, this podcast is Life Without Purpose Has No Meaning. Go out and design the life you want, create the brand you deserve, but most importantly, leave your legacy with your own information and products, man. I thank you guys for listening to this podcast, man. Right below us, don't forget to like, subscribe. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, or if you listen to us on Anchor or Spotify, listen. Leave us a message, man, a review. Did we speak to your heart? Did we touch your mindset? See you guys. I see you in the next video, or you can listen to the next podcast. Be blessed.